We're back. I want to continue this little conversation. The 10th Congressional District Democrats put out a nice little newsletter. And I thought it's spot on. And I want to give you part of it. It's 20 reasons to vote against Bruce Rauner. Now, I'm not going to read you all 20.
There's only 20?
Well, I don't know. I think they've done a pretty good job of identifying the worst of them. I mean, look, we know he's a Republican, and of course you'd expect him to say that, you know. He is a union basher. He says government, union bosses, and trial lawyers run this state. One of his recipes for government reform in Illinois, right there on his official campaign website, is limitations on government employee unions. He picked a running mate who is a Tea Party Republican who admires Senator Ted Cruz. And you know what happened with Ted Cruz and the Tea Party? They engineered a government shutdown. He doesn't believe that government can solve problems and make people's lives better. His formula for government reform: control spending because bigger government means more corruption. This is Bruce Rauner. This is from the 10th District Democrats, all right? Rauner thinks that lowering income taxes, implementing tort reform, and creating right-to-work zones, in other words, union-free zones, right-to-work zones?
Mm-hmm. It's a nice twist.
Right-to-work zones? Probably Chicago would be one of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks that's a three-pronged plan for job creation.
Oh, it's got
tort reform and creating right-to-work zones and lowering the income taxes. You know what happens if we get rid of the temporary income tax that Pat Quinn and the Democrats passed. You know what happens to all of our finances here in Illinois. It would just make a bad situation worse. All right? He advocates subsidizing private schools. Of course, you have to divert money from public schools. That's how you fund charter schools. He won't say that how he would achieve pension reform, although he has said that he would put pensions in a 401k. He can't do any of that. He's also said he would freeze property taxes. Mm-hmm. He can't do that. Mm-hmm. He has nothing to do with it as governor.
But it sounds so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful stuff.
You're putting enough ads on TV.
You know, that's what you do. I mean, you puff up, you know, you get the voters to believe he can do all of this. He's Magic Man. Mm. He says he would have vetoed the same-sex marriage law. He wanted a referendum on that. He says that he would have called for a referendum on legalizing marijuana for medical purposes, and now he wants to make money off the sale of medical marijuana by auctioning off the licenses. No, Mr. Rauner, that's not the purpose of medical marijuana. It's not supposed to make money for the state. It's supposed to help the health care of Illinois citizens. It's supposed to be a benefit for Illinois citizens who need medical marijuana, okay? He has not said that he would support Obamacare. He's against raising the minimum wage. We've already talked about that. He had not made a single statement about voters' rights, which is on the ballot this November, protecting voters' rights. Again, he would have vetoed the law that legalized medical marijuana. He's talking about reforming our broken immigration system, but he donated $400,000 to the anti-immigration activists who led the fight to defeat the Illinois Dream Act that Governor Quinn recently signed into law. He donated $400,000 to fight that. And this is the guy. This is the guy that's got Manny. What's his name? Sanchez. Is it Sanchez? Yeah, Manny Sanchez on commercials on TV talking about how much he thinks Bruce Rauner is the guy that we need to lead Illinois. This guy who gave $400,000 to the activist who was trying to defeat the Illinois Dream Act for immigrants. Well, I've said it before, you know, if that's the kind of government you want, you deserve what you get. If that's what you want, I said it wrong, didn't I? You get what you deserve, but at the same time, you deserve what you get if you're voting for it, you know. No. You get what you deserve. If that's what you want, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just telling you, that's not a good thing for Illinois. And if you want that kind of government, go ahead. Go ahead. If you don't care about your neighbors, if you don't care about the middle class, if you don't care about the people who need health care, if you don't care about the people who need medical marijuana, if you don't care about public schools losing money to charter schools, if you don't care about that, then you got the right guy, I guess. You know?
I guess.
Yeah, well.
I just kind of live by the base rule of vote in your own best interest. And I guess I understand that Bruce Rauner is voting in his own best interest, but I think that everyone else has a different perspective. We're not 0.1 percenters and things like this.
But he is.
But he is, and I think that if he institutes these policies, that it's going to get smaller and smaller, and the middle class is just going to shrink, and in the future, it's going to be worse for all of us. So, that's just me.
Well,
I'm just worried. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm concerned about it too. Anyhow, we'll move this conversation along. Hopefully, we'll have Representative Cassidy in the studio soon. But right now, we got to take a break. We got to take a news break, and we'll come back for another hour of this informative conversation after this.